Hey there, chart friends. Lamont here from Chart Guys, checking in on the electric vehicle sector. Okay, so let's see. Obviously, we had a nice big strong day for Tesla today. Closed at the high of the day, printing a TD8 right now on the daily, and I believe it's also printing one on the weekly. Yeah, so it's printing an 8 on the daily and the weekly. They're both looking like they will very likely be perfected because they're quite above the previous candles. So they're both likely to be perfected. So we have the potential of a weekly 9 and 8. I'm sorry, a perfect 8 and 9 on the weekly and the daily time frame, like coinciding with the R1 resistance here at 925. So, and then there's also this oh, I see. Also this big old resistance line coming up. Just anchored off of these two pivots here, and I think it's reasonably, it has contained price reasonably well, in my opinion, right? You see that the median line starts getting a reaction here. Well, let's check it out on the daily. How about that? This is going to be a long one, I bet. Buckle up. All right, so you get the band gets a nice reaction here. Excuse me. Median line gets a good reaction. Median line definitely looks to be affirmed here. That looks like you get a perfect tag of that. All right, so I mean, this channel to me is pretty convincing, right? Now, does that mean we can't break above it? No, we absolutely can. But what are the odds of us breaking above it from here and seeing a sustained move higher? It's just not. It's not that likely, you know. And I've been looking for this daily higher low like 4 days ago. Well, maybe not 4 days ago, but definitely on this day, right? I was thinking, okay, we can maybe pull back here for a really healthy one, and maybe not break this level and be like somewhere in between this high and this high. I imagine we could have printed a higher low there if the market remained strong. But now with all this strength, obviously the meat on the bone, so to speak, like Lori always says, is for the short side now, right? Like if you're looking for longs here, remember what we spoke about regarding poor location longs, right? Everybody who's a short-term momentum trader who is buying here, they have poor location, right? Their stop losses are under hourly higher lows or under these daily lows, and when sellers come, if they can take these lows out, those old transactions, those stop losses, they will trigger with these new transactions, these new sellers who are short in the market, and you will get a liquidity break. All right, this is it's just like, it happens all the time, right? This market has seen them very often recently, right? These are all liquidity. This is perfect. This is a perfect example, right? You have, what is this? 8 days, 9 days, 9 days of upside. Everybody is a poor location long from like this day, pretty much, right? Everybody who was going along here on this run, right? The higher up that you went, the more poor location you had, right? And if you were just walking your stop up, if you got in here and you were just walking your stop up on every single low, right? Just dragging it up, boop, 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 and then you're fine. You're fine here, right? You don't care. But if you're this person, right, you're gonna exit that really quickly. If you're this person, you're gonna exit that really quickly. If you're this person, you're gonna exit that really quickly, right? If you're this person, you see what I'm saying? Everybody's trying to exit really quickly, right? And if you're a day trader and you put your stop under the low of this day or whatever, and you kept a piece to swing, right, or whatever your prerogative was. My point is, if you did any action this day and you kept any at all, you're in no transaction too in terrible location. Right, so just something to consider. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? But it's definitely getting to the point where one would anticipate a reversal, and because the nature of this move, we anticipate a sharp move down. Let's not forget, right, that Tesla can make very sharp move down. This was like a 20% move, I think, more than that. 33, right? And this is very healthy consolidation, and this was like 20 something, 23, and then of course we had this like 60% decline as well, right? So okay, just let's not forget how price action works. Okay, so that being said, if you are shorting, personally, I'm probably gonna start like writing some options, just because I have holdings, and so I'll probably just look to yeah, so that I can get time on my side, right? Sell some calls, right? I might try a butterfly, honestly. I might try to like a butterfly into here. Oh, this is totally changing the video content, but I'd be looking for like a butterfly with like this kind of profit area, right? In between like 750 and 650, right? Okay. Anyway, so Shorts are looking to scale into the channel resistance, but I honestly think there could be a little bit more juice. You know, I don't think it's out of the question to get a little bit push up into here and come test the R1. We're for the year. We're so close to it. You know, so I don't know. And oh wow, the pivot for the year is also right there where I'd be interested in that macro higher low. That's so interesting. Hmm. Okay, so a lot of things to consider. I know I usually keep it more straightforward. I'll switch soon. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. So regarding a daily higher low, though, we just want to be patient, right, and wait to see if we can get hourly oversold conditions. Right now, they would be right around here. Okay, so it would be so far away hourly oversold, but it's gonna come up to me price. So we'll see. All right. So tomorrow, even if we do get a in the near term, whatever, what we're looking out for is just for this hourly trend to be lost. So it's still obviously very bullish. We both printed another higher low here, 795.31, and ended the day pretty strong, breaking to higher highs over 811.61. So tomorrow we'll just be looking for more hourly continuation. It's as long as the market stays strong, there will be bulls in Tesla. I imagine it's just so. Whatever the case may be, we are watching the key support of 795.31. So if the bulls are able to hold 795.31, break to higher, well, that is just the high anyway. So if the bears are able to hold this level 816.99, set a lower high and break to lower lows under 795.31, then we'll be looking for that daily higher low. But there's just no sign of it right now. We can probably draw like a trend line for a guide. A guide. Okay, so I feel like that's pretty reasonable. So sometimes you get a situation where you'll see a lower low and then just get no follow through, right? Like right here, low, higher, low, no, blah. So I don't know. Just be mindful, right? Or maybe it comes and gets tested up there. So just be mindful of trend. We're watching that macro channel. We're looking over down here into the 700s for potential daily higher low. Ideally, we'll have hourly oversold conditions. And yeah, I think that about covers it for Tesla. I know there's a lot going on with it, but I think that's about it. All right, I would love if we start getting into the high eights, I will start selling those calls, or if I don't put on a butterfly, maybe I'll do both. I don't know. My point is, I would be getting very interested, to be hedging some positions in the high eights, low nines. Okay. I think this was for an hourly lower high, I believe. So let's check out NIO. NIO is just hovering up here at all-time high resistance. We're watching the potential for a. Well, I mean, I really would have preferred it up there. So like if they had ran up like that, that would have been ideal. But we're still interested in this channel, previous channel support, potentially resistance. I mean, the way that it's grinding here and not really going anywhere, I kind of have a feeling that eventually it's going to make its way back in. At which point I would just draw it out. But for now, I just want it to prove itself, okay? Because I got a nice play off of this, so I mean, I just want it to prove itself. It's very healthy still, right? On the daily chart, we just set another daily higher low. Likely to have set this another daily higher low here at 49.08. Let's see how that shook out today. What day is today? 7th. Oh, so that's not awesome by any means. All right, so this is a situation where if I was looking short, well, hold on, let me see here. Oh no, this was probably looking for a. Gosh, I guess that's old because there's no reason to be looking short here. It's not hourly oversold. It's not 5-minute oversold. So I think I just left that up there, and that's probably from one of those. Not sure. Either way, it would not have been ideal because we just didn't have hourly extension, right? We didn't even have 5 minutes today. So looking short today would have been pretty bold, audacious almost. I would say audacious, yeah. Okay, so let's see. Set a daily higher low here at 49.08. Hourly trend is fine. It's a little bit sideways, kind of like a megaphone pattern, right? We have this support line we can be watching, and we have a resistance line we can be watching. So a bit of a megaphone pattern. Would not be surprised by fake outs. Whenever you have the megaphone out, right? You just don't know, and we know that there's all-time high resistance right here, right, where this line is 57.20. So I wouldn't be surprised by a little fake out. Just be mindful of that, all right? If you are looking long, like a momentum long, it's not a terrible location. You just print that high low, but it would be pretty strong for some straight up continuation to follow through into like this overall time high. It could definitely happen, honestly. This is very, very healthy looking chart. It can happen. I don't love any shorts on this. Right now I don't love it. If you got that one and you chopped it up, I would just take your stop loss out. Like if you were in that short from yesterday and then a day closed like this and your stop wasn't hit, I would probably just close it. Right? I just don't want to think about it because it could fake me out and then that would be frustrating, right? I would just take what I had and forget it, run with it. All right, so that's pretty much it. We're just watching this hourly trend. We're looking for an hourly higher low. Anything over 49.08 will be one. There's a potential of this to be a bull flag, right? This can potentially just be like if we see a 5-minute trend, downtrend tomorrow. Let's say this 5-minute trend confirms. Where's my? Let's say we'll care more about the resistance. So because it's like a consolidation pattern, right? You're looking for that continuation. Where if you're speculating that it's a bull flag, right? Anyway. So if this structure is maintained, if we get these bear breaks with very little follow through and we keep respecting this channel more or less, then the odds of this being an hourly bull flag will be higher. Otherwise, we're just going to be bulls will just be looking for a healthy hourly higher low over 49.08. And if you don't have a position, you're looking for that, then 5-minute would get oversold right around there. So maybe you look like something like that. Yeah, just to like test that all-time high, right? Just anticipating some chop. Really patient bear though, will probably be bottom fishing these levels. Bull, I should say, probably be bottom fishing these levels, right? You got this close here, you got a close here. My typical MO is that I like to find those closes and then I create a zone around it, and I'll make plays like that. All right. You'll miss more, right? Because they don't always get so deep. But if they do get this deep into established areas, they typically give you a lot of cushion, right? My life's all about cushion and comfort. I just want some more cushions. All right, 12 minutes in. So sorry. Wow, killed it. All right, so this is exactly what I'm talking about yesterday, right? With being the patient bull was just looking up here for the range. Look at where he paused, right on the trend line. So obviously that was no good. Maybe that other play was meant to be there then. In which case, oh no. Respect your stops. Well, actually, this was good, huh? Today, where was this from here too? I don't know. You'll have to check. You'll have to look back. Check. I don't think I would have. Oh, this was looking for an hourly lower high potential. Okay, yes. So if we had 5-minute extension into this, I think that would have been fairly reasonable. So this should have been adjusted because today is the 7th. Now I feel like it's not from there. Then why would I do that? It's not even close. Should have been like around here, right? If anything. Because you want to get in when the 5 minutes was getting oversold over there. I mean, overbought over there, which means would look something like this. You probably would have one filled, a little bit of room for stopping, chopping and stopping, and then no, you would have probably stopped out. So as long as the market's euphoria, I mean, in general, you want to be more careful with shorts, right? Because the markets are inherently biased bullish, but also as the market remains euphoric, you'll also want to be just careful, right? It's not exactly easy to short most names right now. There, obviously, you could pick on some names, right? Like BA and BIN, whatever. How's BIN doing? Interesting. Okay. What are we looking out for here? No, we're not on NIO anymore. Excuse me. All right, so we're just watching this resistance now. Are we going to maintain this consolidation, right? We know that we're looking for the potential of this to be a bull flag, right? It looks like a monthly bull flag. right? A pennant or bull flag. What I call it I guess it's more like a pennant, if anything. It's like it's kind of wonky, right? But the idea is, if anything, maybe this is a bull flag, and then now we just have like an EQ, right? Sideways consolidation. Whatever the case may be, we're watching the range, and that's what we care about the most. And now that the bulls have run for quite some bit, I wouldn't be surprised with some consolidation, right? We know Tesla is looking for that consolidation as well, and Workhorse has obviously has made substantial gains into resistance and then dumped quite a bit, right? That's huge. That's a 50% haircut. So don't be surprised if we are due for some consolidation. At this point, dude, I guess now I'd be much more comfortable with these shorts up here. Let's see. I probably you can start today, with the way with the way this hourly is looking. But if you didn't start today, then maybe see how the setup is tomorrow in PM. But this is probably a situation where you run and use options, so you don't have to worry about like being right on the day, like price level to the tick and stuff. You can let your trade work a little bit, control your risk with like whatever. This is getting outside the scope again. Okay, so what are we talking about here? Yeah, we're looking to, you could be looking to potentially short, but I think most people are probably looking for that daily higher low. But if you were to short, this is not a bad shot, right? You're already at the trend line resistance. This is drawn off the closes, by the way, so we would anticipate a little bit of break over. We know that this is the highest close here, and there you have the top got put in there, right? So give it a little bit of wiggle room. I don't hate something like that. And we're just looking for a daily higher low. Does it, like, would you feel comfortable doing it? Probably not, right? With all this all the strength, but it's a very reasonable play in my opinion. But I think most people are probably trying to get long, right? You want to get with this big old bull flag on the monthly time frame, so we're looking for that daily higher low potential, right? And even if it breaks above here and you're looking for that daily higher low to get a piece of this monthly bull flag, that's fine, right? Just let it go. Don't get frustrated. It's gonna consolidate, okay? Even if you're looking at the structure and you're like, that's absurd, and then we get like 4 more candles to the upside and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm never gonna get it. Don't think like that, right? Just think. If you think like that, then whether you think you can or you can't, you're probably right? So just focus on getting that next leg. It will be fruitful. It will be. Whichever way, up or down, doesn't matter. Always. Okay. So we really have no business talking about daily higher lows right now, right? Because even if you have a huge red day tomorrow, the likelihood of setting that higher low right away is very unlike, it's low. So we're just gonna watch this hourly trend tomorrow. Potentially look to scaling short if you're being aggressive. And whenever we pull back, we'll be looking for an hourly higher low over 23.21. Okay, there's so much space for the bulls to do this. The bulls are just fine right now. All right, but again, things can fall apart very quickly. Okay, they can fall apart very quickly. My goodness. Okay, XPEV looking a lot better, honestly, now, with this strong day. But again, if the market starts consolidating, they are not positioned well, right? But that being said, like, this is starting to look like a situation where, we discussed it previously, where we could just see a lot of sideways. There's so much volume getting put in now over here that I wouldn't be surprised if it gets filled in a little bit over here, right? It's kind of weird. These are like suggestive of like, odd volume profiles, right? So like, this day maybe, how this day ended was probably very odd. It has very little volume. Maybe it needs to get filled in a little bit. Nature hates vacuums, right? And if we're gonna bell curve around here, if we're gonna distribute around here, and there's vacuums within it, it's likely that it gets hit, right? It's just it stands out, right? It's like even I don't like it. I want to fill it in with some volume. Okay, so we have the potential now of changing the daily trend, right? That's what we're looking out for XPEV. We're looking out for the potential for a weekly higher low, right? And if we want to see that weekly higher low, then of course we need to get a daily trend change. And the daily trend change is potentially happening here, right? It could happen. Right now we are back over the pivot for the year. That's a pretty good look. On the daily time frame, we are under the pivot, but we're not like waterfalling away from it down to S1 here. So that's not a terrible look, and we defended this support here for a higher low, right? So basically what happened was this daily trend busted into our hourly zone. If we zoom into the hourly time frame, you mark this off with our hourly pivots looking to the left over here. All right, so we were using this last higher low before it ripped up, and in the EQ, and then I thought we had a close. I thought it was based off this, honestly. I'm not sure why it's been moved, but maybe I'm mistaken. I mean, they're always rough ideas anyway, right? They're membranes. Think about them as membranes, not static levels. Anyway, so we are watching, and then we were watching. I mean, this line is all we really care about anyway, and that one was drawn correctly over here. And so we got that printed a potential daily higher low. Well, it is likely to be that daily higher low set there right off of this level. So there are buyers here. This level is being defended. right? So right now, if the bulls can hold this higher low here of 40.60 and break over 47.69, then they'll change that daily trend and set that weekly higher low, and then who knows, maybe we can make our way up towards all-time high resistance to set a weekly lower high, or it's a bear flag and or it's a dead cat. I don't know, one thing at a time. But if this pivot does hold, then I don't think that coming up to test the R1 is really out of the question. Alrighty, that about covers it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all soon. Oh, and if you could like and subscribe, that would be excellent. There's like a bell thing down there. I'll work on like some better content, I promise. Not just like all this straight technical stuff. Yeah. Let me know what you want to see. All right, thank you very much. Have a good night. Forgot to do plug there, so just gonna pop it in real quick and I'll edit it in. Sorry about that. Okay, so plug got some news with some Asian deal. I forget what. Either way, it gapped up right into our zone of interest for a potential short. You can see it's closed over the resistance line that we were being mindful of. So it's seeing some exceptional strength. That volume is wild. That gap and go is crazy. So I don't know if you were in this. I hope you got some stops and maybe ideally you lightened up here, but that you didn't swing it, because sometimes things can get crazy with news. But I do think I still like it. If anything, I probably would have maybe just, let's see, gosh, how can we sort this out? Man, it would have been ideal to just like try a butterfly over here, right, to get the median line. But geez, gosh, I hope nobody got caught with like their pants down with this news. I feel bad about that. I apologize. But I mean, technically speaking, it's still a good place for a short, and we still do have that last fill. I don't hate it, and if you can account for the risk, obviously all your trades should have that risk there, right? Risk set, I mean. So as long as you have done that, I guess it'll be fine. But if you potentially use the options, then you can complete a butterfly and look for like 39 to 30, just like 40 to 35, I guess, as your profit target. I feel like that was a very reasonable play going into like a couple weeks, maybe 25 days out, 15 days out. Okay. All right. So I still don't hate it. So if you set this straight up and you're sized appropriately for something like this, I still think it's okay. It's just it's your news is working against you, and I guess yeah, the news is working against you. All right, so what are we looking out for then? We are looking for some potential continuation. I wouldn't be surprised, right? Especially if Tesla gaps up tomorrow, and then sees a blow off top. I wouldn't be surprised if Plug sees the same thing, right? We pop up over the channel for a little bit, and then come back in and then start some significant or more meaningful consolidation. Would not be surprised by that by any means, but I don't know how cute I would get here. If anything, if things are going sideways, it would be really hard, honestly, for me. Like, well, let me think. This is an all-time high. It's not an all-time high. So yeah, I don't know. I would have a pretty hard time stopping there. If you do what I've mentioned in the past, and you, instead of keeping each one of your trades, instead of taking your maximum amount of risk, so like I've mentioned, my maximum amount is 2% of my account, but I typically will only do 1% of my account, and that way I know when things get a little go sideways, I can open up my range a little bit, or if anything, ride a little bit of pain and not really care too much and still be within my risk tolerance, right? So basically the only time that you should mess with your stops on a trade is if you have accounted for that, if you planned out a little bit of insurance, like through your methodology. All right, so I guess that's really it for plug. We're looking for potential blow off top. Otherwise, just looking for another hourly higher low. Anything over 44.18 will be one. I'm just looking for that hourly trend change back to the bears, for bulls to look for a daily higher low with a lot of space to do so. Alrighty. All right, now I got to figure out how to put these things together.